For our disclaimer, the stories and information presented here are only intended for educational purposes. These are not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. If you are taking any medications, kindly check with your doctor before starting Yoli. We are not paid by Yoli to do this. The stories are based on our actual experiences and the results that we have acquired. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme type of business. You also have to work for the financial results that you desire. Thank you!
Hi everyone, welcome to LGT Live, Grow, Transform the podcast. This is episode 3 and my name is Sena Salcedo. I am a practicing psychologist here in the Philippines and I've been in Yoli since 2020. Today we have a very exciting episode. So before that, I'd like also to turn you over to Atilani.
Good afternoon and hello to everyone. So this is our LGT the podcast episode 3. I am Lani Orbon from Naga City and we welcome everyone. We're just so excited, Sena, because our guest is really someone that we really want to meet in person. But given this platform of our podcast, we will be able to talk to him and get to know him more. And I guess we can introduce him now, right, Sena?
Yes. Go ahead, Atilani.
Okay. All right. So our guest this episode 3 is a very wonderful person. I have seen him through Zoom and his smile is really contagious actually. So one of the things I learned about him is that he is a business person in California, and then he is also a triple diamond in Yoli and a very loving father to Leia. So without further ado, let's all welcome Mr. Eugene Hong. Hi, Eugene.
Hello, thank you. Well, good morning, good
Hey.
evening, good night, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world today listening on this amazing podcast from these amazing women. So thank you very much for allowing me to be on your podcast here today. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very much welcome and we're really excited for today. So perhaps I could ask the questions in the introduction. Atilani said that Eugene is already a triple blue diamond. And for Eugene, what does it mean to be a triple blue diamond? I'm not sure if this has been always asked to you, but we're also curious, what does it mean?
Well, if you ask that question, it all depends on who it is you're asking for, right? Because, the rank is just a rank, right? It just, if you look at the compensation plan in Yoli and they say, well, if you do X amount of things, you get a certain rank, right? Which is cool, which is really cool. And I remember when I first started network marketing, when I see all these ranks on the compensation plan, it was really awesome to look at the ranks and to say, wow, this rank equals this equals this. I wonder how much money that rank you can earn and whatnot or whatnot. But other than obviously what the stat paper says, I think what a triple blue diamond really means is different based on how you achieve that rank. So everyone's gonna have a different answer, right? For myself, I believe, what does it mean? Well, I mean you made the most mistakes more than anybody else in the whole room. Because I made triple, quadruple, quintuple, you name it, the most mistakes, period. And which means that I failed the most, probably. I probably failed the most out of everybody here and whatnot. But it also means that I took the responsibility of what a leader must do for his organization. And a rank comes, you ever saw Spider-Man, right? The
Yes.
first Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire, right? And every time Uncle Ben dies, right? Uncle Ben dies in Spider-Man. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Spider-Man. But with great responsibility, right? And that's exactly what this is. And the triple diamond, triple blue, Captain Commander Kirk Spock, whatever you want to call it, it has the responsibility of really helping a lot of people in your organization achieve certain milestones or ranks in your organization. It just means that you probably helped the most people in your organization. You probably had the most problem solving sessions and probably share a lot of skills with your teams so they could use those skills to help solve their problems so they too can get to where they need to go. So that's what it really means to me. It
Mm-hmm.
just means that we solved the most problems, we had the most problems, we failed the most, and we also led the most with our organization.
Wow, that's wonderful. Like really admitting that you had a mistake, but you rise up above that mistake. Thank you for sharing that, Eugene,
Oh
because
yeah,
there's a lot
privilege.
of people who really don't understand what the ranking is. So I am on a 2 star as of now. So I hope to help more people just like you, right,
Yeah,
Adelani? Yeah.
Right. So rank is really would tell the many people you've touched, Eugene. So we're just amazed that you're also touching our lives today. It's just amazing how we are able to get your time because you're a very busy person. So
Yes.
you mentioned earlier about being in Yoli that you have helped many people. So on a higher level, can you tell us more how you were able to get into Yoli as a business or as a
yeah.
side hustle for you? Mhm.
I was one of the rare people that came in Yoli during the pre-launch when Yoli first had its inception phase. Back in 2009, Yoli launched in November 9th. That's our birthday. And what happened was Robbie and Corey and Darren, they were actually friends of mine before in another company. So I used to be
Mm-hmm.
in Corey Citron's organization in another company. So Corey was the person that actually got me into network marketing. He's the one that recruited me technically. It's a
Mm-hmm.
long story, but it's funny. I don't know if you heard the story, but technically, Corey was the one that sold me on this profession. Corey's like 2 years older than I am. He just had his birthday not so long ago, and he is
Oh wow.
was a chief marketing officer. Now he's just the founder. He owns the company, right, with Robbie and a couple of the Bobby and Darren and Kimmy Fender, of course. But when he was a distributor, he was somebody that I looked up to. He was a very successful distributor. He had over 100,000 people in his organization. He was making a lot of money, and he was doing the things that I want to do. So that attracted me into the profession. And when I sat down with him in Third Street Promenade here in Santa Monica, we had breakfast. I had a meeting with him. His future father-in-law at that time was the one that kind of invited me to the sit-down table. And when he left, it was just Corey and I one-on-one. And this is Corey in like 2006. Okay, this is back in 2006. And I asked Corey because I'm a businessman, right? And I simply asked Corey. He goes, "Hey, Corey, because I have a restaurant business that I had since 2001. So I've been doing my restaurant business for like a little over 20 years in Los Angeles. Originally, I'm actually born and raised in Hawaii, so I have this
Mm-hmm.
background. That's why Kinau and I, who's a triple diamond company, hey, there's Kinau. Speaking of the devil, popping up right over here
Hi,
on this
Aloha.
on this call, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's gonna
wow.
log in real soon and you'll see what I'm talking about. But him and I have this very similar culture because he grew up on the north side of the island. I grew up on the south side of the island. And that's where I met Kinau in the last company as well. So these guys were my friends. They're like, you're distributors like you and I and whatever, right? And when the question I asked Corey was, "Hey Corey, is this a real business?" Because I've heard about this type of business before. I was very, very skeptic. And I got introduced and invited to these meetings many times, and I didn't like to do this kind of business because I thought I had a real business, which is true. I have a real business, but I didn't know about this business as much. I was very skeptic. I had very little knowledge of it, and the knowledge that I did have of it wasn't very good knowledge, right? So I asked the question, Corey, so how much money can you make? And he goes, well, it all depends. And I, come on, dude, like give me a number. Like, how much do you make? And I asked Corey, how much do you make? So Corey pops open his laptop, logs into his back office. Oh, 1 second. He opens his MacBook, right? And he goes, here. And he turned his computer around. And I saw, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. So is that for the year? Is that a year? And he goes, no, no, no. That's what I made in a month. And I was sold just like that. So I said, okay, well, you teach me how to do that. I'm all in. You teach me how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll be your shadow. I mean, you name it. I'm going to learn how to do this. If you can do it, I can do this, right? Okay, I want to start tonight. And I got started. And I started with that company. And then 3 years later, Kinau actually, not Kinau, excuse me, Corey actually partnered with Robbie, and they were thinking about doing a company. And then Corey told me about, he goes, "Hey, Gene, I got a real secret I got to tell you. I can't tell anybody else, but I got a secret." He goes, "Okay, what?" "I'm going to start my own company." And I was like, "Come on, get out of here. Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to start my own company." I go, "Okay, well, if you're going to start it, I'm going to join. But I got to ask you a question. How many people did you tell before you told me? How many people did you tell about making a company before you told me?" Okay. And he
Yeah.
said, "Oh, one." And I said, "Okay, who?" "My mom." I said, "Okay, then I'll join." Because if I was number 10, I'd
Yeah,
be like,
yeah.
"No way." I'll just, it was a joke basically. But, I said out loud because his mom is a person that I actually chose to be my sponsor in Yoli. His mom
Mm-hmm,
is Janice
mm-hmm.
Stiglitz. So if you guys didn't know that, Corey's mom is my sponsor. So
I
within this
see.
organization, yeah, his mom, and she was a huge leader in the last company as well. And now we're all good friends, and she's a really talented network marketer at the same time. But that's how we got started, and that's basically the transition of how we met with Kinau, of course, and a couple of the leaders and the Yoli founders. And when they made Yoli, it was a no brainer for me because I knew that all the founders of the company were very successful distributors prior to Yoli. So I knew who they were.
Wow.
In fact,
Yeah.
I had some good talks with Robbie many years before, So Robbie, I knew Robbie, pretty good, you know. So when they started the company, I said, I wouldn't miss this for the world. And when the pre-launch happened, we took off with a bang. And the
Mm-hmm.
rest was history. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that you have a lot of confidence to the founders, the way you talk to them. I mean, the way you talk about them. Hi, Kinao, aloha. So there you go.
So my brother.
All right. So I actually heard about your story, Eugene. When I heard that you said yes to us, I was pretty quick on, I have to stalk Eugene. Sorry, not the Instagram, just the Yoli
Blame it on
podcast.
bless you, okay? Blame it on bless you.
Yeah, just the Yoli podcast. I think I've heard it like twice or thrice, plus your mastermind in YouTube. I've heard about your story, and I'm wondering what's your relationship with Corey's future father-in-law, George,
Yeah,
right
so
now.
George. So now, of course, his wife Paloma is George's daughter. So,
Mm-hmm.
when I got started, I have a restaurant and I did a lot of farmers markets, catering events all over Los Angeles. And it was, I think, 2005, 2006. I was at this Culver City Farmers Market in Los Angeles. Culver City
Mm-hmm.
is right next to Tony Studios. So, it's very Hollywood, very production,
Yes.
whatnot.
Yeah.
And I have my booth there, and I'm really busy because I have my own business. And George comes up, and he's a tall white English man, okay, and he
Okay.
buys food from me. And I remember this like yesterday, okay, because he was very strange. He was a very unique individual. He buys food. In fact, he buys a salad with my chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I have some amazing food that I have. Right, and he buys chicken and he eats it right in front of my booth. He doesn't go away. He he watches me and he stays there and he just eats and he looks at me and I'm looking at him and goes, "Hi, can I help you? Like, what else can I help you? Like, you're about food, so you need something else, or can I give you a napkin?" What, you know what I mean? And he's just,
Yeah.
wow, that looks like a lot of hard work. And he starts asking all these weird questions, and I'm like, okay, what are you trying to sell me? That's the first thing that popped in my head. Like, what do you want? What do you want to sell me? Okay. But I did it in a very good way because he's a customer. You know what I mean? And he kept
Yeah.
on talking and goes, "Oh, wow, that looks like a hard work. If you ever want to know, he gave me the pitch. Like, I got an easier way to make money." And I'm like, "Oh, no, not, no, oh, no." So I just went, smiled, and said, "Thank you very much. Hope to see you again." And then a week later, he come back and he'll buy food again. And then weeks came in and he stopped buying food. He just came in and he never bought food and he always hang around my booth. And it sounded like we were best friends. I just met the guy and there's no history. And it was very annoying at the same time And
Yeah.
that's how I met George. But the good thing about what George did was he was very persistent. Now, what
Mm-hmm.
I would add to this is be politely persistent. Don't be persistent like a pain in the butt, you know what I mean? Because that's a turnoff, right? But I don't
Yeah.
blame him. George didn't have that much skills, but what he did have was he had a determination to say, I got to know this guy Gene, because one thing that he mentioned was that, hey Gene, I know you're such a hard worker, because he's watching me work, okay, and he goes, you'd be great for my business, and he made it all about him, and that was a
Yeah.
huge off, because in our profession it's all about your team. The minute you make it about
Yep.
you, the minute
Mm-hmm.
everything collapses, because it's not about you, it's about your team, right? And the way he did it was a complete turn off, and I think this is the reason why network marketing has a bad taste in people's mouth, because a lot of people lack the skills, they lack the communication, they lack the know-how, and they're just doing things because I don't know about you, but when you signed up for Yoli or a company like this, I don't see a job application. I don't see
Mm-hmm.
independent contractors, formula where you gotta give me your education level, and you gotta tell me, stuff like that. There's In our business, we accept everybody from Yale or jail, right? We all know that, right? You
Yale
can
or
come from
jail. That's
any
good.
background. Yeah, that's from Chris Medina, one of my good
Yes.
friends, right? You can come from any background, and we don't segregate. We don't say, well, you're too short, so you can't join Yoli. Haha, we don't say any of that. You could be short, you could be pretty, you could be ugly, you could be funny, you could be funny looking. It doesn't matter. No one's funny looking, but all I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is it doesn't matter who you are. It matters what you do, right? And because of that, we attract people. We attract the good, we attract the bad, we attract everybody. And the people that like to manipulate or do things in a different way tend to get posted in the media, tend to do the wrong things with the wrong integrity and whatnot. And that's the reason
Mm-hmm.
why direct selling has a bad taste. It's not the profession. It's usually not the company. Sometimes it is. That's why you have to choose wisely. It's like choosing the right spouse or the right partner,
Yes.
like getting married to somebody, and then you found out that you married an axe murderer, right? I think there was a movie, right? But you see my point, right? It all depends, in your judgment of what you think, that aligns with your character and whatnot.
Yeah. If
That's
if
George
being
was.
short, if being short is a qualification, I would not qualify in Yoli Atilani.
Oh no.
There would be a lot of Filipinos who would not qualify in Yoli.
That's the thing. That's so
Yeah.
unfair, right? Who does that? It's like, come on, right? Thank goodness we
Yes.
do that. I mean, we better not do that, right? Yeah,
Correct. And
that's the thing. Yeah.
yeah, and thank you for sharing that, because yeah, there's really a different reputation for the network marketing. But I will allow Atilani to ask you that question. But for the meantime, I'm
Yeah.
just curious. I've been listening to your podcast, and then I was curious that what could have you done differently for George, like very what do you call it, self-centric. But
Yes.
what could have
Yeah.
you done
But he wasn't
differently?
a bad guy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
He wasn't a bad person. He just wasn't taught the right way. Yeah.
yes, but if that was you, would there be a different approach probably?
Oh, absolutely. Because
Hmm.
so what happens is this. While we got to remember now, where or what your background is, you're gonna bring whatever background you have or baggage. I'm gonna call it baggage. Okay, it's not a negative mean. Whatever
Yep.
baggage you carry from, either if you work at corporate America, if you were an entrepreneur, or let's say you're a salary person, or you worked at a fast food place. It doesn't matter, right?
Hmm.
Wherever you come from, the knowledge and know-how of how you dealt with things are going to be the baggage that you bring over, and sometimes it's what's going to carry you to this business. So, for example, whatever skills you were taught in another company, we're probably going to use that skill because that's what we know, right? We don't know any better, right? So we try to use the
Yeah.
skills we learned in other places and we try to implement that here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. You got to remember now, even though this is a
Hmm.
business, this is a people to people business. So the key is you have to know how to talk to people. You have to learn how to work with people. And a lot of times in corporate America, that's not that's not a job requirement. You're not required to work well with a coworker. Sometimes corporate America is more doggy dog world where Well, I don't care about
Yeah.
you. All I care about is me. So long as I do well, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
This type of concept of network marketing is a totally different concept. It's one of the hardest businesses out there in the world, but it's one of the most rewarding businesses out there in the world because here it's based on my efforts, right? What I do, right? Versus I worked 5 hours in Yoli. How come I don't get 5 hours of compensation? You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. So the mentality is we have to change gear, change the way we think, and learn the skills that we need to learn in this profession. A great way to start off is somebody like Big Al Tom Schreider, who is a huge mentor and a friend, a really good friend of mine who lives in Thailand. But he has his websites. He has a website, bigal.com or fortunenow.com. So if you go to his websites, he teaches people about network marketing. So if you don't have the
Mm-hmm.
skills, good thing about this business is you're not alone. It doesn't matter if my sponsor left and didn't teach me anything. It doesn't matter because this business you can learn with the skills. If you go up and normally if you reach up, you be pulled up, right? That's what we teach people. Reach up to be pulled up. But if you don't have a sponsor, if you don't know the people in your organization, if you don't know anybody else, you can always go to third party. You can always go to places like the Mastermind, someplace that's a very
Yeah.
neutral area that you can learn skills, learn how to talk better, learn how to work with people, and really develop the skills and confidence, and especially learn about the profession itself, like reading this book. This book here will teach you about the profession. This is Robert Kiyosaki, from
Wow.
Hawaii, by the way. But when I read
Rich
this,
Dad Poor Dad. Yeah.
right, but he made this school called the Business School specifically for
Nice.
network marketing. So
Mhm.
what? So this book, why I talk about this book is because I have a business,
Mhm.
right? So I understand how business works. So when I read this, I completely understood it, and within 3 or 4 days, I said, "I'm in. I'm sold." Because why?
Mhm.
When I got started in this profession, Corey said, "I got to read this book." He actually gave me this book. Okay, when I got this book, I said, "Oh, okay." Was the last time I read a book? Gosh, college probably. You know what I mean? It's like I haven't read a book for like so long. Are you kidding me?
Mhm.
And I start to read it, and then I got so immersed in it that I got to finish this book, and I was so attracted to this, I couldn't put this down, and I kept reading it over and over again, and start to study it, and then my thirst and knowledge for this business start to grow and grow and grow, because I saw that if Corey Citron can do this, why can't I? Corey read this book. Well, if I want to be like Corey, I got to do what he did to get what he got. So I got to read the books he did. I got to do the things he did so I can build my skill level. And that's the thing. Many people are not willing to do that. They try to do this the way they do it with their old habits. And the problem is your habits are what got you today, right? If you want something
Mhm.
else in life, if you want to change your results, you got to change your habits. And most people are not willing to change their habits. That's why the results are always the same day after day, year after year. What happened last year is the same thing that's going to happen next year. What happened 2 years ago is going to be the same thing that's going to happen 2 years from now, because your habits dictate where you're going to go. And I decided to change that, to change my habits and understand how this business really, really works, and to become a professional, to really understand and be a student of the game. And because I went from that attitude, I would buy books like crazy. I start to read and invest money. See, the thing about it is not many people are willing to invest back into themselves. Okay. What I
Yes,
did,
that's
I had
true.
to reinvest. I had to invest in myself again and over again. Events. I'll go to events, seminars, learn anything that was out there to better my skill. I would go no matter what. I don't care how long it took. I don't care how much it cost. All I knew that it could build my skill. If I could become better by attending this event, I'm going to be there. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. Adelani, you have a question,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Actually, my question for Eugene would be more on network marketing because Eugene here in the Philippines, it got a negative connotation or perspective to people. Yeah. So
Not every-
if you could give us maybe more tips on how we can help out in changing the mindset of people or maybe changing our mindset with network marketing because we have to start somewhere. So I guess,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And see, this is the thing that attracts people when they're marketing, because anybody can do it. Anybody from, your education background, from you name it. it doesn't matter, right? Anybody can do this business. And that's what attracts a lot of people. But also, like I said before, it attracts other types of people too, right? So this is the thing. Our skills is really important because how we teach and how we have the responsibilities for our team. Okay. So let's say you sponsor somebody. You sponsor somebody in the business. Our jobs is to, number one, make sure we give them enough skills so they can not fail in this business. And I know it's impossible because, you can't, if someone does something, you're not responsible for it, right? I mean, you didn't do it, they did it, right? But what I really mean is you got to go out of your way to really help somebody. If somebody signed up with you, you don't go, thank you very much, and wait to them to call you. And well, I haven't heard from them in 2 months, so whatever. It doesn't work that way. When you sponsor somebody, your responsibility to them is this. If you're going to jump on board, I'm going to take some time to train you. I'm going to take some time to help you with your business. Now, I'm not going to do it for you, but I'm going to help you with the business. You move, I move, you move, I move. You don't move, I don't move. That's how it works, right? And we're teaching them skill sets. Now, I know it happens because I've sponsored a lot of people in this business. Oh, Gene, I'm sorry, I can't come. Okay, come to the next event. Oh, I can't come. Come to the next event. Oh, you know what? 3 months later. Oh, you know what? It doesn't work for me. Oh, why is that? Oh, because I tried and it failed. You mean you failed to work the business? That's why it failed, right? No, you didn't work it, and that's why it failed. Because a lot of people are going to give you excuses, right? Right? Because they couldn't do it, and
Yes,
that's
true.
understandable. So the thing that we have to understand is, why did they fail? Is it because we pursued them? Did we pressure them? Did we force them to sign up? And a lot of times, if you force people to sign up, that's why the negative, image
Yeah.
of this company comes in. Because, oh, you know what? He signed me up. It costed $300, and I didn't want to do it, but he was so good on the phone. He sold me. I didn't need it, but you see my point, right? We're not salesmen here, even though we're selling a product. Okay, what it is that if you really deep down inside, okay, we're belief builders. Okay, what we do is we give people a chance to believe, right? We're giving them an option. Hey, this could work. Now, we're still a salesman. Okay, if anybody tells you wrong, no, why? Because there's a product to be sold. If people have to buy something, they're selling something, right? We're selling them not only a product, but we're selling them an opportunity, a chance. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, this is the chance for you. We're selling them an opportunity of timing, if they're ready or not. Now, the thing about this is this: not everybody is ready right now. Let's say you sign up with me, right? Or let's say, Christian signed up or whatever. Okay, yeah, you sign up, but it doesn't mean that you're ready to do the business. It could be that you're ready to try the products and you're too busy. My point is, I'm going to follow up with you, right? Until you're ready. And that's the key. Even though you signed up, it doesn't mean you're ready. When you're ready to do the business and when you're ready to make a list and start to work with me with the business, then you're ready. And let's go back to this. When you first sign up the business, how many of you guys are calling your friends and family? Right? Yeah, right. It's natural. I opened a restaurant. Am I not going to bring my friends and family over? Of course, I'm going to bring my friends and family over. What I'm going to bring them for? Well, I might have some friends and family that go, oh, okay, I'd love to come over. Do we have to pay? Right? If they come over to a restaurant, do we have to pay? Well, if it's an open house, no. But if you ever want to come and support my business, please, you're going to eat anyway. Might as well eat here, right? So it all depends on how you word it. It all depends on how you promote it. And for us, the thing about it is this, like I said earlier, is people are going to do things what they're going to do no matter what. You can't stop them. What you can do is, stop that from happening. If I see somebody in my team or a distributor in my team who takes advantage of that, I make a note to go out there and make sure I talk to this individual. So we make sure that the culture of the organization doesn't contaminate or mistreat or manipulate the organization. And that's why leadership is so important. Most people build a business without leadership. And when you do that, things fall apart like a house of cards. But when you build a business with character and leadership and integrity, you build an organization. You build a massive, huge organization. Because why? They're going to stick because of culture, right? Because they love the culture. They love, they want to know about leadership. They want to learn more about how I could be a leader in my organization, how I can lead others. How can I bring on the characters of a leader and teach those characters to my organization, right? This business is not just about podcasts and selling, and that's just one aspect of the business. The other aspect is, how are you going to lead your team during the pandemic, during despair, during hardships, doing problem solving issues that you need to do to grow as a team, right? How about drama, right? I'm not talking about Korean drama on TV, right? I'm talking about on Netflix. I'm not talking about, we all love them, right?
Yeah.
That's a different story. But what about drama in your organization? How do you deal with drama? We have this thing called conflict resolution. How do you deal with? There's a thing for everything in this profession if you take the time to learn. And I know my answers are really long because, if you think about it, I mean, there's never one small word answer. It could be, if you simplify it a little bit more, maybe. But I want to be more descriptive about this because I know it's a big thing. Because, okay, can I share?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm gonna share. It's so funny hearing the rooster because it's like
yes.
why when we're young, we go McDonald's and there's roosters and chickens all over the place.
Welcome to the Philippines.
You know what I mean? Kinau knows what I'm talking about. It's all over his backyard back in Hawaii. Anyhow, so we're talking about like the negative thing. In college, I had a high school buddy invite me to a party, and he said, "Hey, Eugene, let's go to a party." Okay. So when I went to the party, I dressed up, like a party. I saw my friend. I said, "Hey, what's up?" And I saw the people. They're wearing suits and stuff. I'm like, "Why are they wearing suits? Like, this is a party. Am I at a different party? What kind of party is this?" I was like, "Oh, maybe I'm underdressed. Ooh, this looks a formal event. Oh boy, I better go home. Oh, should I? I'm just complimenting." Okay. So I meet my friend and goes, "Hey, I think I had to go home and change because I don't think I'm dressed like they're all wearing suits and stuff like that." He goes, "Oh, no, you're good. You're good." We get there. It's an auditorium and we're sitting down in theater style. Like, this is not a party. What is going on here? And then I find out it's one of those Amway events, which is nothing wrong with Amway, but
Mm-hmm.
he said party. He didn't say an opportunity meeting. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
because of that, I went, okay, I'm never going to do this because if I have to lie or drag people to an event just to get me signed up, that's not me. I don't do that. Okay. So that left a bad taste in my mouth. You see what I'm saying? So when George came in, he did the same tactic, and I don't blame them. They don't know any better. Okay. But I blame their sponsors for not teaching them or whoever, I don't know who George's sponsor was. It was Corey. No, just kidding. But George has his mind on his own. George has his mind on his own. He's stubborn. He won't listen to anybody. So some people are like that. You got, just gotta, it is what it is, right? So when that happened, I made sure, and I had this talk with Kinau many, many times, where I made sure that when we started Yoli, because we came in the Yoli in the beginning, we had the opportunity to start from ground zero, that we could create the team that we wanted with the leadership that we wanted, but also the culture. And this BLP culture came from what we created, which was the aloha spirit. In Hawaii, we treat people like uncles and aunties. Everybody is like, hey, we want this warm ohana. Ohana means family in Hawaii, right?
Yes.
In Hawaiian. And we want to bring this culture because the culture in network marketing is not this. We don't come here and the culture in Yoli is pretty much second to none because of the culture. Because I wanted something where people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. When we first started Yoli, the pre-launch took off. I had triple diamond in the first week. We were the first triple diamonds in the company. And then after that, it went back down. Why? Because it's a pre-launch. You have artificial growth and you can have the real value, right? So it took months before we grew that volume back. But when everybody dropped off, it's always like that in the pre-launch because people come in with a lottery mentality. And when we had to start all over again, I lost 8 diamonds in my group, right? Chris Medina was one of my diamonds that left, but I brought him back. He was the only one that came back. But we had to rebuild the teams. And how do we rebuild? By making sure that we had something bigger than money. Because people came because of the money and they left because of the money, right? So I didn't want that to happen this time around. I want to change the culture to make sure that it was such a family oriented that people won't leave no matter what, because we had this strong bond, this strong relation, this strong culture that we had. And that's what came out to be the Yoli culture today.
Wow. I was overblown by that idea, Eugene, because we talked to Kuya Chris last Friday, and we were also
Oh,
very much
the third one?
No, no, no.
Really?
You're the third
Me?
one, but Kuya Chris was on the
I'm
she
just
was
kidding.
on the Friday session. But yeah,
That's number four, right? Canal's number four, right? I
number
don't
4.
feel
But what I mean is that you really mentored him so much that your words
Canal
is
took off. No, I'm just kidding. He's right there. Go ahead.
like
All kidding aside. Yeah.
I can see that the mentorship is really effective because we can see the synchronicity of the belief from you and Kuya Chris and some other leaders, and it really says something about the culture. And yeah, so we will stick to it. I think we
You know,
will.
cool. This Cancun trip coming up, it was the
Mhm.
first incentive trip outside of the new Yoli that we, once we started. This is where Chris Medina had his breakout. When he came in, he was mapping it. And this event is what changed Chris's trajectory. His belief level was skyrocket beyond belief because of this Cancun event coming up. I'm telling you, Curran is going to go, right? He's going to have his mind
Yes.
way. And whoever's going to go, I know Christian, you guys are going to, right? Yeah, you guys are going to go. You guys are going to get your minds blown by this. And what this does is going to put you on a ladder of escalation, and it's going to put you higher, and your belief level is going to be so high that nothing is going to knock you off. And when you have a strong belief, that is one of the major keys in this business. Because other than that, your belief determines where you're going to be in this business. It's all belief, right? We come in this business because of hope. I hope I can get my checks like Corey. I hope I can do well. I hope I can do well. But we stay in the business because of belief.
Nice. Amazing, amazing. Ate Lani, I'm sure you have another question for Eugene.
Yes. Yeah, we believe you, Eugene. Yeah. So we really have that belief as well that we can yeah, change our lives and of course help out in the mission of Yuli in transforming people's lives, the best life possible. So I guess one of the question that I also see behind you is that what's your why? At this point in
Yeah.
time that like all these things going on in Yoli. So what's your why? Why do you keep on going?
Well, it's because I'm bored. I mean, I don't have anything. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Life is really too short. It really is. And if you saw the Blue Diamond video of someone like Chris Medina, whenever I seen that video, I my heart really, it just gets me every single time because in his video he talks about his brother, and when his brother passed away, he was at LAX calling me at that moment. Gene, I gotta go. I gotta go take care of my brother, and it was a very emotional moment for both of us because when he told me the story about his brother, he Chris is my brother. He is my brother. Kinau is my other brother, and the three of us are like really, really, like this. In fact, he also made us his godfather, and that's another story. Chris didn't tell you this, but he made Kinau and myself godfather along with Robbie Fender. Okay, and the funny thing is, in American culture, when you say godfather, usually there's only one godfather, right? So Chris invited us to go to Florida to be his godfather. And I was like, you're going too? Oh, okay, cool. He can watch me because I'm the godfather and can watch. But he and I both didn't know that Chris called us both godfathers. So we had no idea. And then we saw Robbie. He goes, Robbie, what are you doing here? Well, I'm the godfather. He goes, wait a minute. If you're the godfather, then what am I? And then we didn't know that in the Filipino culture, you have multiple godfathers, right? So like,
Yes, yes.
Right.
oh, I see. So what number am I? I was number 16. I was number 50. Whatever. I mean, it's all good. I was just disappointed I wasn't number one, but it's so funny because we always joke around this, but I love Chris and Rose. They're just amazing people that I'm so proud to call like my brother, my sister. They're just amazing people. And Chris is just, he's the real deal. I mean, his leadership level is
Yes.
just unbelievable. And when you see Kinau Tollefsen, the next guy, it was because of him that I was so inspired. And I can't wait to see Kinau on this call, on this podcast. Really, really. I'm telling you, this guy here, I'm going to promote him because this guy is the real deal. I mean, there's so many similarities. For one thing, him and I came from rival high schools. Okay. So our high schools are like the biggest high schools in Hawaii. And every year they play football and we beat them every year. I say, except one year, I think.
Oh.
Kidding. It's always back and forth. You know, they win 1 year, we win 2 years, they win one, we win three. I'm just kidding again. See, we're building this anticipation and this. It's so funny. He's gonna tell you the opposite, but all you gotta do is Google it. No, I'm just kidding. Anyhow, all I'm saying is, if you see when I talk about Chris, and you see when I talk about Kinau, you see this bond, you see this friendship, you see this attachment, this culture that we have together. You can't break this. And this is the reason why our organization was so big, because of that, because of the love, because of the extra that we harness, we care for each other. That's the bond we created with the leadership. And when you create bonds of love and bonds of in Yoli we call it BLT, right? BLP, right? If you create those bonds here, it really creates a strong culture within your organization. And people see that. And when I saw this with Corey and Kinau, because they were like really buddies up on stage, I said that's what I wanted to do. That's why Kinau, I gravitated toward Kinau, because him and Corey were like really good friends. They still are, but I think now Kinau and I are stronger friends than them two before. You see how it is, right? We came in, I just cut that line. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's what I wanted, because I saw the friendship and I was like, that's what this business is all about. It's about building relationships, and the relationships you see here with people like John Dunca, I mean Ronnie Cruz, I mean Jenny Mangaha, all these great leaders have this type of relationship with the organization, and that's what makes us a powerful group, a powerful leader, a powerful organization. Unbelievable.
Yes, truly unbelievable, Eugene, because I haven't seen anything like Yoli. And I think that's the reason why we will stick until that's the thing. And yes, Kinao, we are very excited also to invite you in the podcast. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I'll
And
buy that ticket. I'll buy that ticket to be. I want to see this show because it's going to be great. You guys got something here that's going to be the showstopper. I mean, this guy sang on Broadway. I mean, I kid you not. This guy here is gonna. You got to really get. I mean, if you really want a really big show, I mean, you got to pack the house, and because he's gonna bring it. When he brings it, he's gonna bring it. And when you pack the house, he's gonna put on a huge show for you. You gotta listen to it live. I don't know if you guys do that in your podcast, but
we
if
haven't.
you
But
haven't done it? Okay, I'm gonna challenge you. Okay, next podcast when you bring Kinao, you fill out the rooms because I'll tell you a secret. Great leaders
Mhm.
like Kinao, great speakers, feed off the energy. When he sees the crowd on Zoom go nuts, he's gonna go 10 times more nuts than that. And he's gonna bring up the pump. He's gonna bring the intensity. He's gonna bring the energy, and he's gonna rain down the thunder. I kid you not. He's gonna be great, and it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be awesome. So if you could do that, watch what happens.
wow,
Yeah.
we should prepare for that.
Wow,
Yes.
holy cow! That's are you? I'm just kind of like, well, who's he talking about? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I got a text message from Eugene saying, "Hey, I'm on the Kerwin's podcast. Can you get on?" And then 3 more texts. Hey, are you there? And I'm like, wow, this must be really special. Then he sent a messenger link for the podcast. He goes, "Can you get on?" I'm like, wow, this must be. It's for the Philippines. Anything anything for the Philippines, like for real. Like
Oh my
whenever they say
god.
Philippines, I'm like, I have a lot of ties to the Philippines because I used to be married to a Pia Alonso Wurzbach. I don't know if you guys know her.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It didn't work out. So, I mean, whatever. She left me for somebody else,
Shame
but it's
on
all
her.
shame on her. I don't blame her, but it's all good.
Yeah.
But
See what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, we go way back and stuff, and she Anyway, she was stalking me for a long time, and I was like, "Gosh, can't you just leave me alone? Can I just be in peace?" And then I gave in, and we were together for a while. But
Mhm.
you know what's funny is, and again, I don't mean to interrupt, but as far as Eugene, whenever he says, I mean, if it's that like 4 text message, I wanted to get on just to say one thing real quick. I think maybe he knows this because this month is my anniversary of being in the profession for 28
Wow.
years.
Happy
Wow.
It was
anniversary.
28 years. Yeah, 28 years ago. I was not like Eugene when I first got started in Yoli because I didn't like the founders. I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my.
I'm just joking. I just joke. I just didn't like Corey. But I liked Darren because Darren and I went to the same church. And Robbie, I trusted him because he was a Christian, but not all the way just because he said he don't go to church. I said, well, you could be a Christian. Well, what church do you go to? He goes, oh, I don't go to church. It's an on. And then, of course, Corey was Jewish. So I was like, oh, I don't trust him. He's, and so anyway, I actually put all my trust 3 years later into Eugene, and hearing him today lead, guide, and direct and helping to develop the skill sets from the Philippines to Canada to I know that God put him in my path. There is no doubt at all whatsoever. I've been doing this now for 12 years. I've been in Yoli for going on 12 years. And I look at every time when I get a check, I thank God every Friday. Actually, the check goes in on Thursday, so I get on my knees and I thank God. And then the next person I thank is Eugene, because if somebody who called you for 3 years can now make you over a 7-figure income, you're gonna get to your knees and thank him every chance you get, and any opportunity. When he texts me, I'm there. Even though I was with my other girlfriend tonight, I'm like, get away, honey. I have to go. And I'm like, okay, I'll get on, dude. I'll. So I am so honored to just say a few words. The one thing that Lainey, you were talking about,
Yes.
it's burning a hole in my head that to answer this question. When I got started, if you study and survey all the blue diamonds, especially the Philippines, you guys have a map. They already did it for you. So, I mean, if you look at Ronnie Cruz, who it took quite a while to him to get jump started, but all of a sudden he found this girl named Jenny Mangajas. And Jenny, I going back to how my jump start got started was I found, and here's the kicker for tonight, and I'll just leave this little tip with you guys for tonight, is I found influential people. Now, Jenny is very influential, but I remember Eugene calling me going, dude, we got to go to Canada. Jenny found a girl named Z Tan. Her husband's a doctor. They're starting in Toronto. We got to go fly and help open up and launch Canada. So when we went there, it was a big black tie event, and Z came out with this gorgeous red gown, and she was on the mic, and there was hundreds of people, all Filipinos. And the guy that opened it was the guy who won Canada's Got Talent, and he sang this, Canada, and it was just, we're like, wow. Ronnie took a while, but finally found an influential person by the name of Jenny, who found Z, and now they're double blue diamonds, and Ronnie is living in a cabin, living out his best life. It always reminds me of a scary slasher movie where he lives, because I'm like, dude, check in with me in case the serial killer doesn't get you or something, because it always looks, it's kind of creepy where he's at, but he's enjoying his best life, and it's because he didn't give up, and he found his list of influential people. And last story I'll tell you. That's what I found out that my mentor said. I love that you want to save your Auntie Lonnie to help with her arthritis, but let's talk to her second. Let's look for a big influential person first. So my first company was a water filter company, and my classmate came in, his father-in-law came in, and his father-in-law was a big person in our church, and he spoke to I was one of the first what they call premieres. I mean directors. And it was because I found an influential person that just went boom. And then the second company, what happened was, um, I don't know if you guys remember a group, a family group called the Jets back in the 80s. They're very big, famous in the Philippines, even till today. They sing that song, Tonight, it's been a year. Well, my
Yeah. Okay.
sister married the lead singer, the guy in the band. My sister married. They came to Hawaii for a show. My sister was a hula dancer. He saw her. They fell in love. 6 months later, they got married. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. Well, that group is brothers and sisters, and they have 17 siblings, all from the same parents. Now, the parents, he is the father of this group, the Jets, has 17 brothers himself. The youngest was an identical twin whose son was married to my niece. So there's two marriages connected to this family. So as far as influential people, I went to the youngest identical twin sister, and literally she was signing up about 12 people, between 12 to 13 people a day for the first like 40 days because she had so many people in her family. And it catapulted me to what they call the Sweet 17 premier position because of influential people. So you guys, I'm assuming this is a leadership call. Yes, we want to help Auntie Lani and Ate whoever, but and not we're going to call Ate whoever, but let's get your list together of the somebody like Christian and Angelique. Find Put those people on your list. You know why?
Yes, we are.
I know for a fact that John Dunca didn't know that Christian and Andrew was going to kick everyone's butt in this company. But as a result, that's why. And that's one of the tips I wanted to share with you guys tonight was what locked me in was the fact that I found these influential people who led me to hundreds of people, all on auto ship. And guys, that book that he talked about, Business, the Robert Kiyosaki, he said, it's better to get 1% off of hundreds of people as opposed to going to work every day using 100% of your own efforts. So prior to this, if I didn't go to work and punch that time clock, I don't get paid. But today, because of what Gene did for 3 years, calling me, there's literally thousands of people that order. So if I don't go to work, I still get paid. I feel bad. I feel bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this for real? You're going to thank the person that invited you out tonight, too. So I hope I inspired Kerwin and whoever else is listening. Guys, and
Yes, you
thank you
did.
so much for inviting me onto your next podcast. I won't even, I won't charge you. It's free. I'll waive my fee. For this, it's because it's Current's group. It's off, and it's Filipinos. If this was Iowa, I would charge. Them. But thank you for letting
Thank
me.
you so much.
I'm
That's a
sorry.
prequel.
Thank you.
Yeah, for our viewers and our listeners, that's a prequel of Kinau. We are very excited to put you on also on our podcast. All right. Thank you so much. So we might have a last question, Adilani, before we go to our fun talk. We're having fun, but there's another fun talk segment of our
Okay.
podcast.
Yes. Actually, I think the last question would be for Eugene is there anything else that you aspire with this business, with Yoli Business?
You know, um, when you first start the business, there's so many things you want to achieve. Like, oh, I want to be car qualified, or maybe I want to qualify for some of these incentive chips for free, and then maybe have a dinner with the founders, and all that stuff, which is great, right? And once you go through that ladder, um, the next big thing happens is you want whatever you experience happen for your team. Whatever you went through, you want to make sure that your team goes through what you went through. Because if you knew the impact that it made you feel and be where you are right now, imagine the impact it has on other people and how much it can influence them. And I think that's the real powerful part because, being blessed is one thing, but to bless other people with that is a totally different thing too. So when you have the power and the ability to teach people the skill sets to help them, learn from the mistakes that you make, and obviously not to make the same mistakes that you make, of course, but at the same time, have them go through and help them attain their goals. That's the biggest thing to gauge upon how many people can we really bring to this next level. How many people, how many households, how many families and friends will it take for us to bring over to the other side? And that's the beauty of what this business can do. Yeah. Not just in our
Nice.
community,
Yeah, amazing.
world. Think about that, right?
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
guys in the Philippines, right? Think about that. How the US, Canada, Philippines. There's only 3 countries really. I can't
Yes.
wait till the rest of Asia opens up, Europe, South America. My goodness.
Yes. We take pride on that actually. Every time I talk to people, I always say we are first in Asia.
Well,
Yoli is first in
you
Asia in the
guys
Philippines.
deserve it. You guys are killing it. That's why. I mean, you know, the Philippines are just, they're, if you think about it, Chris Medina told me, Chris, he goes, what's the biggest thing that we have in the Philippines? And it's people. They have people all over the world, and there's Filipinos all over the world. And that's the beauty about it. It's their culture, their people. And if you understand that, I mean, if you know anybody who's Filipino, I mean, you know that their culture, their food, it's a big thing. And I love that. I became a huge fan of pancit, of you name it. I mean,
Wow.
culture, turon. I love Filipino food. In fact, I had some pancit today too. So it's great, because the culture, I mean the pork. Oh my goodness, unbelievable, right?
The
Yeah, but
lechon.
like lechon, you got to take a bottle of alcohol after, just to neutralize it. Anyhow,
That's so true. So thank you so much for sharing that, Eugene. And we're talking about culture. You know how much big Koreans also here in the Philippines is. So for some of you guys who don't know, Eugene is actually a Korean American, right? And we just really love both the culture, Koreans and Filipinos. And for this segment, we will be doing some fun
uh-oh.
activity. So we call this fun talk. Okay,
Okay.
I will be sharing what do you call it? I'll be sharing my screen and then we will ask you to read some Filipino words. So just 5 words
Okay, I'll
and
try.
we'll give you the meaning of that word and
Okay, good.
perhaps yes, and then perhaps you can let us know what that means to you as well.
Okay,
All right, so we're so excited for this one.
good.
I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so the first word is this. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes,
Yes. Okay,
I see.
so what word is that?
Uh, that word, you want me to pronounce it for you?
Yes.
Okay,
Can you read that for me?
yes, I'm gonna go slow. Okay.
Sure.
Obviously, when you read something for the very first time, you want to kind of go slow, right? Okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So it's like kalbi, right? Except for the L. There's no L like in Korean kalbi. But so kabi, kabilang.
Wow. Yes, you're right. But we
Yeah.
pronounce it
Great.
as kabilang. Yes,
Kabilang.
kabilang. Or in
Kabilang.
yes, the meaning
Great.
of
Yes.
kabilang or
Yes.
kabilangan is belongingness, to belong.
Belong. Yes. That's
Yes. We're actually kidding like it's kabilong, not
kabilong.
not kabilang. Yes. So
So
belongingness.
how do you pronounce it? One more time.
Kabilang.
Kabilang.
Yes, kabilang. So
Kabilang.
in
Kabilang.
Filipino, we said that kabilang ka or you belong to us. We
Kabilang ka.
belong. Yes. So in Yoli, it's also termed as belongingness. For
Belonging.
you, Eugene, what does it really mean, belongingness to for
It
you?
means family. It means to be part of something bigger than yourself. I mean, it's the start of culture, if you think about it. Why do people want to belong to something bigger? And when you have a mission to transform lives, if we have a mission to help other people, who doesn't want to be a part of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
the words are pretty strong and powerful. And it's more powerful if the person who says it has it with confidence, has it with belief, has it with posture, has it with conviction. I mean, it means more when you can feel the words rather than just say the words. Yeah.
Ah, very good. Very nice. So thank you for the definition, Eugene. Are you up for the second word? All right. So
Let's go. Yeah, this is
from
fun. Awesome.
yes, from this word we have
It's getting longer and longer, by the way. Okay, so Pagmalmahal.
it's pagmamahal.
Pag. Say that one more time.
Pagmamahal.
Pagmamahal.
Yes, and that means
Okay.
to love.
To love.
Mahal is love.
How?
Pagmamahal is to love.
What part is love? How?
Mahal.
A mahal.
Mahal,
Mahal.
yes. It also
Ah,
means expensive or yeah, valuable.
expensive love. Ooh, I like that.
Yes, it has two meanings. So
Mahal.
mahal could mean
Mahal.
love.
Yeah.
Mahal could mean expensive.
Well, part of the extension of growing an organization is obviously loving you, right? Loving you first, obviously, because in Yoli, a lot of people are coming on board with the products because the products work. Um, Products like Alclete. Nobody has Alclete. We're so proud that nobody has this product except us. And when you take the product, you're helping so many people with some of their issues that they have. And to be a representation of that, there's a lot of pride and a lot of love because when I share Yoli with people, it's because I love people, it's because I love them. So it's a gift of love. It's an extension of a gift of love that you can do because, not everybody might know that, they need the product. But deep down, if you think about it, if you look at the products and the ingredients and what it can do for people, everybody needs this product, right? It's just like everybody needs love, regardless of where you come from. And when you can marriage the two and having a lovable culture, a lovable product, you can create a lovable environment where people want to become part of what you have because it stands for something stronger than just you and I. It's something that we can create and build upon and give and grow the love. Imagine growing the love, right? It's kind of hard to measure that. What do you mean measure love? Does that mean I love my spouse more than my spouse loves me? You can't measure love. But how
Yeah,
can you
agree.
measure love in Yoli? Well, grow a huge organization and find out.
Yes, that's very good also. Oh my god, I'm so having fun with these words. Eugene, don't take this as
Awesome. You do a great job. First timers, oh my goodness, you guys are killing. This is really awesome, by the way. And I can't wait to see the next couple podcasts because it's going to be really awesome.
Yeah.
oh my god, thank you for that support. But you still have three more words.
Oh, okay, let's go. Let's do it. Let's bring it on. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
having fun.
okay.
Yeah,
So the
and I
second
apologize in advance if I'm butchering the words, but I mean, it's
you're doing great,
yeah, I
actually, for
mean, right. But you see my point. The point is, when you learn it for the first time, you fail, but
mm-hmm.
accept the failure, learn from it, grow from it, and go on. That's how you do your business. Same thing, right?
Correct. So our third word here is there you go. It's shorter this time.
Okay. In Hawaiian, there's like these okina, or it gives you the hyphen of the tone of. So it's hard
Uh-huh.
because there's no, I don't know the tone of the Filipino language. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is considered Tagalog. Is this
This
Tagalog?
is yes, this is the Filipino
Tagalog?
language. Yes.
Okay. So uh I'm just gonna read it out loud. Okay, I'm just gonna read it
Sure.
the way it is. Okay, but it could be pronounced differently because there's different tones and pitches. You know what I mean? And that you can't really see that.
Yes.
Yeah. So la yun la la yunin.
You're almost there.
Yes, you got it.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah,
It's layunin. Layunin.
la union.
Yes. I had this Filipino comedian Jokoy. I don't know if you've heard him, but he
Yeah.
was in Hawaii and he was like trying also to navigate the language, and he said that Hawaiians love letter A.
Yeah.
It's the same as Filipino. Like, if you notice, it's pagmamahal, it's layunin, it's later on the other words that you will see. We have lots of letter A's in the language. But
Yeah.
yes, you got it. Layunin is purpose. So we've
Yeah. You,
completed the BLP, the belongingness, love,
yeah.
purpose. Purpose
Yeah.
is goal. Okay, so for you, what does it mean to have a purpose in Yoli? Like, why
That's
is
what.
it BLP? I've been asking myself as well. What's with the
Well,
BLP?
well, that's what the sign is. What's your why, right? What's your purpose? What's your
Okay.
drive?
Yeah.
And when you have that type of passion, drive toward your belief, nothing stops you. You know what I mean? So, I'll give you an example. Kinau, when Kinau mentioned about 3 years, people were like, what are you talking about 3 years? 3 years of what? So Kinau was with me in another company, right? He was a cross line, but he was one of the top leaders in that company. And when Yoli came in, I went after my influential list, like what Kinao said. And I knew Kinao had a big organization in the last company. And because we created a relationship, it's rapport first, always rapport. It's always relationship because it's a relationship business. So I knew that, I needed to have this gentleman here because he was my friend. I know I needed this guy to join my business because I had dreams. I dreamt of us, Kinao and I and Chris, touring the world and teaching people the skill sets because I saw Kinao do that with Corey. And I said, I got to do this with this guy. I feel I have a mission to complete, a purpose in life where him and we were going to go in New York City and in right there in Times Square in the hotel, the Mary Marquis, we're going to do a training in front of this 5-star hotel in the heart of New York. And I had this vision and it came true. We actually did it. We rented a room. We did an award banquet there. We did the whole thing. But these are some of the things, I had whole these images of things that I wanted to do with people like with Corey and Kinau and Chris Medina and whatnot. So for me, the purpose was when I told Kinau about Yoli, he didn't want to do it. He goes, no, I'm not going to do it. Not because he didn't like Corey. Maybe he did because whatever. But he was kind of like retired. He didn't want to do it anymore. He was not in it. And for 3 years, I called him almost every week. I called him, but I called him with politely persistency. When I called, so this is a conversation. Hey, Kinau, what's up? Long time no see. Hey, how's it? We talk. And then sometimes I was slipping Yoli and then he goes, oh, well, not really interested in that. And you can tell when I slip Yoli in there, he kind of fades away because he kind of moves the phone away from his face because you're like, I don't want to hear it. You can, Kinau, it's all in his sleeve, by the way. Everything is on his sleeve. He shows you, he's like Spider-Man, like, here you go on my sleeve. But it's like, yeah, okay, all right. All right. That's Kinau, right? So for 3 years now, every time, this is one time when I called Kinau, he never answered my call. And it went on for weeks and months. And I got really angry because he was a friend. And I got so pissed off. And sometimes you need to do this with your friends because we're friends, right? So you know what? I gotta talk to this guy. Like this, it's bugging me because I haven't heard from him. I don't know if he's sick. I don't know what's going on. So I called him. And guess what? I knew that his answer machine will come up. I knew that his voicemail will kick in. But you know what I left on his voicemail? A nasty message. I said every swear word in the book. And I said, how dare you never return my call? What kind of friend are you? I don't know if you're dead or alive. What the beep, 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 beep. And I hung up the phone. And guess what? He called me back right away. And he goes, how dare you? I'm like, hey, Kinau, how's it going? Long time. I'm glad you called. You see how that worked?
That's really, that's amazing.
Happened. I kid you not.
Wow.
Yeah. But because he was my friend, I didn't care about the business. The business wasn't the priority. The priority was I need to take care of my friend. I need to make sure my friend is okay because he's my friend no matter what. When you make your list in Yoli, like, I'm going to put my friends and family first. Your friends and family, that means that list is very valuable because you have people that you care and love about. That means I'm not going to just sales pitchy. That doesn't exist in my vocabulary. It's about how can I improve their life? How can I help them with the problems and having Yoli be a part of their solution? That's what it is.
Wow, that's really, really nice story. We haven't heard about that, but yes, we
Oh,
totally agree. Yeah, that list is mahal.
Yes, it's
yes, there you go.
valuable.
There you go.
All
Yes,
right. We use
right.
that in the sentence now. Okay, so up on our fourth word, let me just share my screen again. Oops, that's not the word. Hold on. Let me just, yeah. Okay.
Kaya manan. Mananan.
So see, I told you we have also love a lot of A.
All of
It,
A's. One,
yeah,
two, three. There's four A's in there.
yes,
Kaya
it's
manan.
kayamanan.
Yeah, kaya manan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. What does it mean?
kayamanan. Yes, kayamanan means, Atilani, treasure.
It means treasure.
Yeah,
Yes,
treasure.
yes, or
Treasure?
maybe money. Yeah.
Yes,
Money.
kayamanan could be wealth, could be treasure, could be anything valuable. So yeah.
What does it mean to me?
Yeah,
Well,
what does it mean to you being, say, wealthy or having a treasure, or what
well,
does treasure means to you?
maybe it means fulfillment. Maybe I don't know. But what it really what I look at this what I think it means to me is this. You know, if you love what you do, it's not considered work, right? It's not a hardship. It's not, oh yeah, I spent 20 hours. No, 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 because I'll put how many hours it takes. It doesn't matter because I love what I do. And the result is because I want to get that wealth, right? That thing that I'm looking for. It could be money, it could be love, it could be fulfillment. I think it means fulfillment in a certain need that you're looking for. Um, and if, let's say for example, I'm dirt poor, then I need money to help pay my bills, right? That's what I'm
Yes,
looking for. That's the fulfillment that I need, and that's important because without money, it's so hard to live, right? And you got to pay your bills, you got to have food, if you got to look after people and this, healthcare, sick care, right? Whatever. So you got to have something. You got to have some money to survive, right? It's a fulfillment, but it's deeper than money because I always said, money is what attracted me in this business, but it's what you can do with that money. It's what that money can stand for and what it represents that could become a bigger picture. So, for example, let's say I want to make $10,000, right? Oh yeah, wow, you're so money driven. You want to make $10,000, but did you ask me what I needed those $10,000 for? I'm going to use that 10,000 to do this, to do this, to do this, and you're like, wow, that's what the money can do. It's what you can do and how you use that money to have that fulfillment for either it's a self fulfillment or it's a community fulfillment or it's it's like the why. My why was in the beginning was because of my mom's why. So I adopted that because I knew how much it meant to her and I knew how much she meant to me. And because of that, I adopted that why. That's why that fuel or that passion. So that fulfillment, what are you doing it for and why? When you care and love for something for so much, you're going to go beyond the call of duty to fulfill that need. You look at Christian, he's going nuts. He's going bonkers out here. Imagine their love life. It probably sucks because they're so busy building the business. No, but it's not that. I'm just kidding, right? But you see what I'm saying? It's not important because it is important. But what I'm saying is because they have that passion, that drive, right? They might sacrifice some things away that they usually do before. Maybe watching TV Friday night, movie night with the family, whatever it may be. You still can do that, of course. You just have to allocate your time a little bit better, different now. But it gives us purpose to do something that we normally wouldn't do. You know, um, and I think that's important because look at Christian when Christian and Angie came and they drove from Arizona. They drove how many hours? 13 plus hours to go to conference. That's discipline. It means they have they're purpose driven, and because of that, they're going to do what it takes to get there because they're fulfilling certain things in their life that they need. We got to become successful in Yoli. Why? Because of their why. If you heard Angie's why, I mean, it's going to make you cry, right? And that's the thing. Your why was so powerful that you'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. Once you unlock that why, it's game over because there's nothing stops you from accomplishing your mission except you, right? So for me, that's what it means. Yeah, that fulfillment. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So it's beyond money. It's beyond material things, right, Atilani? It's really insightful, and thank you for sharing that, because people in the business just think about money, but without
Yeah.
that fulfillment.
And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that too.
Yeah.
Please, there's nothing wrong with that. We need money. Like we need to
Correct.
breathe, right? We need that. But once you fulfill those things, what's next, right? Yeah. What's
Correct.
next?
What about you,
That's right.
Atilani?
Yeah, so this is really very insightful for us, Eugene, with all your sharing. And of course, awesome job in trying to pronounce those Tagalog words.
Yes.
You are like
Exciting?
Filipino in a way.
But I'll
Yeah.
try over and over again until I get it correct.
Yeah, you still want to have
Sure.
more? I think we have one more, Atilani.
More.
So
Yeah.
let me share that.
Yes.
Share again. I think this is the last, but definitely not the least. Okay, here you go.
I think he now knows this word. This is Kalusugan.
Wow! Very good in the first
Got it.
try. You got it.
Great.
And
Wow.
Kalusugan is health.
Health.
Yes.
Kalasugan. Yes. Wow. That's a really strong word. Kalasugan. Huh. Okay.
Before you
Wow.
define that, you
Yes. Go
see
ahead.
that small word in there. Manila will be waiting for you. So that's a
Oh, wow.
very subtle subtle message.
It's so funny you mentioned that because I have to go to Korea because my daughter hasn't seen their grandpa and their grandma because of COVID. We have kept on delaying it right before COVID, and we were supposed to go right after the cruise in 2020, but because the pandemic came in, we kept on canceling. So it's been 5 years. She never met her grandparents. My plan was to go to Korea and then go to the Philippines after because of that. I was going to go, but because the
We're
pandemic came in,
excited.
it delayed everything, but I am planning on it. I can't wait until the time comes because it's a beautiful country. I want to see it with my own eyes. And I know that you guys deserve it. There's so much love there. There's so much purpose there. We got to transform Philippines. I mean, there's so many
I
people
agree.
that need this product. Imagine how many people you can share and help. It's just unbelievable. So I can't wait. And for you guys are so lucky because you're the pioneers of the Philippines. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. Super.
I'm excited about that and then the opportunity that you guys have here.
Thank you. So what's health for you, Eugene?
Well, health could be a lot of things. Mental health, I mean, physical health, and I think it's the balance. I think having a balance is really, really important. It's like having the yin and yang. Health is part of everything. I mean, one of the things that I experienced was when COVID came, in December of 2020, I caught COVID. It was the original strain, right? And thank goodness for amazing products. I'm not here to say that, make any kind of statement, but I kid you not. When one of the things that I experienced was the aches and pains of COVID and having unbelievable. It's having the products just fulfilled me in so many ways. It's unbelievable. And I know the products helped me a lot without a doubt. It's just great product, period. And I'm proud to market the product. I'm proud to represent. But I think everybody needs to have that type of balance somehow. Whichever way you can afford and find a way to do it little by little, just small piece by piece. You don't have to go all in on it or whatever, but I mean, do what you have to do to help you get to where you need to go. You know what I mean? It comes with that balance of even wealth. I mean, I've always believed that wealth is going to make you more than you already are. If you're a good person, you're going to be a better person, right? If you're a butthead, you're going to be a worse butthead. You know what I mean? It's going to, and that's what Yoli does. It's an amplifier, and hopefully we do this for the right reasons because, like I said, there's a lot of people that we can help, and it's also one of the things that the responsibility part. You know what I mean? Imagine when you create something so holy and so wholesome. Imagine how impact you can create, not just in my community. No, it's the world. You can literally impact the world. You can literally impact your country. and be representatives of that. And that's a big thing. You guys are all ambassadors. When you come to America,
Yes.
when you come to Yoli headquarters or their convention or their incentive teams, you're an ambassador of your country. Imagine that you're representing, So I'm just so proud to see what we can do here for Philippines and what you guys are doing for the Philippines. It's amazing. So please keep what you're doing and turn up the notch and light the fires. You know what I mean?
Yes. Thank you for that. That's really inspiring, and what do you call it, validation that we're doing the right thing right now, because we haven't started, really pushing Yoli. For me, personally, i start I started using the products. I transformed my family first, but now we want to have a greater reach. That's why we're doing this run. Okay, and over to you, Atilani.
Right. So we really want to reach as many people as we can, even those without the internet connection. That's why we have this
Mm.
podcast. So, Eugene, I think this will be the last thing. If what do you want to say to your Filipino fans?
You got
Well,
fans.
Yeah,
no, I don't know about fans, but I want to say to
or
my
followers.
fellow Yoli members and customers that are out there,
Yes.
you know, things are everybody has challenges in life. We all have challenges in life, no matter what stage you are. And Yoli could be an answer for you. It could help you to become better if you allow yourself to dream more. You know, um, I know, you mentioned some things about, oh, there's some negative, news about direct selling or network marketing. There's negative news about crazy spouses too. Like not because you had a bad girlfriend or a bad boyfriend doesn't mean you can't date anymore. You know what I mean? You know,
Yes.
you know, it, there's a lot of great companies out there, and it's just like, if you look at the news, there's like a lot of the news is from bankers and lawyers that have Ponzi schemes. It's that's why when people talk about it, and I understand it. It's the culture you want to create that matters. you know and I didn't want to be like a George. I didn't want to be somebody like George. Now don't get me wrong, I thank George for allowing me to meet Corey, and I'm always grateful for that, because if it wasn't for George, I would never have met Corey. But at the same time, because of that, I want to make sure that I don't do that to anybody in their team and organization, to sign them up and leave it out to hang and dry. We don't do that, right? That's because we have a responsibility. We have to do it the right way, because so many people do it the wrong way. And we want to make sure that people learn, so that people who are doing it the wrong way stop doing it the wrong way and start doing it the right way. And when that happens, it cleans up the profession. When you have everybody doing it the right way, you create a culture that attracts everybody that wants to do it the right way. So all the people who do it the wrong way, they get repelled because of the culture is so strong. And that's what Yoli has done. It repelled all the people that are the jumpers in network marketing, all the people that are coming in just to make money. Well, nothing wrong with making money, but if that's all they care about, they don't care about people. We don't want that. We want people that care about people, because Yoli, when we put this on our swag, it means what? Right? Love, purpose, it
Yes.
means passion, desire, all the things that we want. We're representing. We are representing this company, but we're representing ourselves. We're representing what we want to create, a culture that's bigger than ourselves, a culture that can accept people and help people where they're at, regardless of education level, regardless of background, color of the skin. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a why. What matters is that you have a reason to do this. What matters is that you have a purpose in life to become different. What matters is to do something special with your life, because all it takes is a decision to say yes. All it takes is for you to say, hey, I want to change the way I am. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want something different. And Yoli could be that answer for you. All I have to say is it does take time to grow yourself. You have to invest in yourself. You have to put some time. You have to be open-minded. You have to be coachable. These are some of the things that you need to have for you to grow in this space, in this room. And, like I said, if you're ever on this podcast, we're here to help. The leaders are here to help. You can always message us and let us know. It's like, oh, I don't want to message you because, never. I mean, You know how many people? I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, we're here to help. That's why. Because if we're you have to understand that everybody on this call, like all the leaders that you had on this podcast, probably feel the same way too. We have a bigger purpose here in life, a bigger mission. We're not here to, I mean, we take calls, we take texts. Trust me, it's not enough people reaching out to us because they're so afraid not to. We get more people not reaching to us than more people reaching out to us. And that's why when I talk about culture and the relationship building with Kinau, we create this relationship because we want to make sure that the leadership is solid. We're at the same level. We're growing, moving forward together and growing together. I think is one of the keys. So don't ever feel shy or embarrassed or I'm not worthy. Never say that, please. Always, if you want to reach up, you gotta pull yourself, reach up to be pulled up. That's what I say, right? So go out there and ask for help. Ask for leaders to give you guidance and some words of wisdom. Because I mean, if not, then who else? You know what I mean? So don't be shy. Go out there and see what you can do. So
Yes, so true and very encouraging from you, Eugene. But before we end, is there any virtual event that you'd like to invite our listeners and viewers as well? How can they reach you or message you as well from our members and subscribers?
yeah, you can reach out to me on social media. I'm more active on Instagram nowadays. So you can always message me on Instagram. I think it's Eugene S. Hong. I think it's my middle initial, S as in Sam. But yeah, it's on there. Or you can reach out on Facebook. I check Facebook maybe like once a week or once every other week. You know what I mean? I'm not really active on Facebook as much. But you can reach me out on Instagram more. What I'm saying is don't ever feel that you're bothering anybody. Just go out there and say, hey, I want to reach out. That's the key, because it takes a lot of bravery to do that, courage to do that. So if you have the courage to ask, you have the courage to to do the next step after that. You know what I mean? It's to create a relationship. I'll tell you real quick, because I know it's kind of gone long, but when I first met Kinau, I saw his DVD, his story. Kinau has a DVD on YouTube. Look at Kinau Tollefsen Zango, and you can see his story. And when I saw that story, it goes, wow, if that guy from Hawaii, I'm from Hawaii, if he can do it, why can't I? So when I saw him for the first time, I went up to him and goes, hey, Kinau, I'm Eugene. I'm from Hawaii too. And I introduced myself. Now I was like, he could have went, oh, please, or whatever. He could have done that, but he didn't. He's like, hey, how's it going? He was very smiling and, hey, how's it going? And, later on I got to know him and we became really good friends. You see what I'm saying? But all it takes is that smile, the initiative to go out there and when you have that courage to do that, it's like asking somebody on a date or, whatever. It's the same, just go for it. What do you got to lose? That's what I'm asking. What do you got to lose? Life's too short. Make it happen.
Wow, amazing, amazing. We
Woohoo.
can talk to you all day, but we promised this to be short. But we really had so much fun talking to you. It's like learning mastermind all over again. And also, yeah, we have a lot of nuggets and we might have hard time to process it today. But yeah, because this is a podcast, we will be able to listen to you every time. And is it okay if you could share on our post your Instagram link so that if there
Yeah,
would be
sure.
okay.
Yeah,
All
and send it.
right.
I'd love to share it too or whatever. You guys are doing something that's really amazing. So yeah, whatever I can do to help. Absolutely.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Eugene. It really ignited our why to continue and help in the mission of Yoli. So thank you so much for giving us your time, the nuggets, and everything. So we hope to see you soon. And yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes,
Please.
in
yeah,
person, please.
yes.
Sooner than later, but thank you for inviting. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to see Kinau Tollefsen. But seriously, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Eugene and Atilani.
Yes, and
Yes.
of course, thank you, Eugene, Kinau, and everyone, Christian, and your wife. Thank you so much, and everyone in LGT. Thank you so much for giving us your time, your energy here, joining us in this third episode of our podcast. And see you guys soon. So I guess that's about it. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, and join us again next episode. And we're looking forward to have Kinau here and Kuya Christian and so many more Yolified members, so that we would know your stories, be inspired by your story, and also inspire our kababayan, the Filipino community. So see you again next episode on Live, Grow, Transform, the podcast. With the chicken
Yes.
on the background.
Mahal na kayo. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Salamat.
Thank you so
Salamat.
much.
Salamat.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.